one morning we woke up and we said, let's just do a big batch of beer. Let's take our money. He actually took some of his retirement money. I took some of the children's college fund, and we just said, let's do a proper batch of beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, hopefully over the age of 18, welcome to episode 57 of Hashtag Beer Time. Wow, what a show I have for you. I sat down with Paul and Eben, probably two of the nicest guys you'll meet in the craft beer scene, and they are from Buurman Brouwerke, located just a little bit outside Cape Town, and they are making some fantastic beers. I will say this, their Amber Ale, I'm going to say it is probably my favorite Amber Ale in South Africa right now. It is delicious. These guys are super genuine when it comes to making beer, interacting with their customers, what they want to do in the industry, and it was really an absolute pleasure to sit down with them. I learned a lot, and it really is lekker just to have these kind of guys who you work with. So I'm going to stop babbling on, and I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the show. As always, let me know what you think. Cheers. Right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another episode of Hashtag Beer Time with me, T-Bone Troy. I had to remember my name there. I almost forgot. But I haven't forgotten my guest names. They are Eben and Paul, and they are from Buurman Brouwerke. Now, I need to just apologize to my international guests because there's going to be a lot of beers and bros and a whole bunch of different brews that are being thrown around this episode. But let me stop talking and say, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks
so much.
How's it, man?
Lekker. Now, let's crack on straight into this. Eben, maybe you can tell me what am I drinking here?
You're having our Amber Ale. It's we call it Little Red Riding Hood. Comes back to our actually very first beer that we brewed back in the day. We went for quite a potent Amber Ale. Refined it a little bit. As you can see on the label, we've got 5 different malts and 5 different hops in it. Laid it really nicely. And this has done really well for us. It's been well received, and we love it.
It is. It's in. I see it's 6.0% ABV, which is, in terms of South African standards, like you said, it is a bit of a stronger alcoholic beer. But in terms of an American style, it's actually pretty spot on. And I'm just by sniffing it, I'm getting a very American forward kind of Amber Ale. Is that correct?
Yep. We really pushed. That was the guideline that we went for. But we really pushed hard to make sure the balance, is what we were on after. It was just, to us, it came out really well. I think the malts and the hops, just the way it was, as I said, layered with the ABV, for us, it's actually, we're very, very proud of this product.
Yeah, this is, I think I tried this, probably at last year's Cape Town Festival Beer. We can talk about that later. But I must say, it really has changed, it's evolved, and it's, I'm just going to say it's like, this is an amazing beer. So, well done, guys. Thank you very much.
Mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're aiming for a kind of West Coast style, very hoppy Amber Ale. Yeah. And we wanted the alcohol actually to be about 6.5%. But I think in the second batch, we had too many beers. So the second part of the 500 batch was slightly weaker than the first one. But we're aiming for 6.5. But we're very happy with how the beer actually turned out at the end.
Don't change it, please. Whatever you do, don't. Yeah, you're holding it up to the light here. Mm. You need to, you need to explain what you're doing because no one can see you. So we need to. I've made that mistake before where I've spoken to my guests and done all these hand gestures. But yeah, and afterwards I've realised that you need to. But we're holding it up to the light, and It's a beautiful amber copper colour. Guys, yeah, please don't change this at all. I'm pretty happy with this. I wanted to ask you guys a few questions about the brewery and who you guys are. I know who you are. A lot of people don't know who you are, but I think the one thing when I think about you two is that there's a bit of you guys have a romantic story. I'm not talking about between, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a bit of love here. But I'm talking in the romantic sense of your journey into craft beer. You guys started as homebrewers. You had this whirlwind of a romance with the craft beer, with the homebrew scene. And then you dipped your toes in the craft beer pool. So I'd like to know, like, in a nutshell, like, where did it all begin with you guys?
I think I'll let Paul take this one. He loves telling this story.
He's the romantic.
Yes, you can see it.
Is it because you started in my kitchen? Is that why? No. Well, I think all of it actually started in, what is it?
In your penthouse, Sea Point, high level.
In the penthouse, yeah, this guy wanted to start brewing. Eben wanted to start brewing. And he said him and a partner is going to go into brewing. And I told him, listen, how about you look for a new partner? And over the weekend, I got a mash tun, and I looked on the internet and the YouTube, and I kind of built the what is that?
The manifold and the mash tun.
The manifold for the mash tun. And I called Eben and I said, listen, man, I've got something for you. How about this? He said, worth being your partner. Now, and I think, and that's where the story basically started. And the first batch we brew in a flat on the 3rd floor in Greenpoint. We got the water in Newlands, and we had to carry all the water up 3 flights of very small stairs.
It sounds very similar to my kind of story. I commiserate with you guys because I can understand the...
Yeah, and the first batch we actually bought a 50 litre. We didn't want to go 20 litres because everybody was doing 20 litres. So we said, let's do 50 litres. Wow. Let's just get a big pot, put it on the stove. And we had one of those flat glass stoves, and we had 4 elements. And we said, let's put it on 4 elements. It's definitely going to work. It didn't work, so we designed a aluminium wrapper that we kind of wrapped around the pot.
Is this for your first brew?
Yeah, for the first brew, because they don't want a ball. So we said, if you don't get a rolling ball, it's never going to work. We're never going to get all of the evil out of that wort. So we need to get a rolling ball.
Yeah,
and we devised like a kind of a jacket for it, and that jacket got a little bit hot. And it started dripping on our stove. And the stove was never the same, but at least it had some character of our first batch of beer. And the first batch of beer was like Eben said, it was like Rooikappie, and that's why the second beer we actually made commercially, we called the Little Red Riding Hood, to pay homage to our first beer.
If I may take you back, how long did that first batch take?
Just about asked.
Wasn't it almost like 24 hours? We struggled day and night.
At least 24 hours.
Obviously, in the end, well worth it. No, we had, if I dare say, humble beginnings. Everybody starts there. Yeah. International oaks. Everyone starts with that, and I think once it piques your interest, it's either in you or it's not. And
was there a light bulb moment? I say to someone, I guess, there's a moment where it just triggers your brain, and you say to yourself, "Wow, I'm going to do this." Because I think everyone's got their different moments. So was there ever a moment where you guys were like, either we want to do this or, wow, we're actually doing this?
I'll quickly fill in on this one. We've always, obviously, we studied and partied in Stellenbosch. And it's a pretty, big party scene. Always been intrigued by beer.
Shout out to Stellenbosch.
Oh, yes.
But here comes a shameless one for Martin Tucker. I think 2009 was our first CTFOB visit.
Yes.
We went to old
it was the first.
The first one then.
Yeah.
Went down to old Eric Triggerfisher stand, and our first IPA ever was drunk there. And I wanted to throw up.
Yeah, we were shocked.
He was just drunk
beer could taste like
after
that.
one. And we were like, what is this crap?
And then when Devil Speak as well, it was like, that's just weird for us.
Just to cover, Eric, I suppose this was your first crafty beer from mainstream lager, right?
Story isn't finished yet. Obviously, we went around all the stands. We found ourselves going back there and staying there until they had to throw us out. And that was our first. We fell in love with our first IPA, and that was obviously Eric's Triggerfish. Which one was that again? Was it the Roman Red? Is the Amber?
Passion the Amber.
No, that
Passion Lips was the other one.
Not Sweet Lips. Was it?
Bonita Lips was the
yes. And we couldn't stop talking about that beer. We walked home, and we were just like, "This is it. We need to create our."
It's funny how Eric's beers are gateway beers. Hey?
He's like the marijuana of brewing.
Exactly. I'm sure he might appreciate that. But No, that's similarity is because I remember he was one of the first guys that I, started visiting out in Somerset West. Couldn't believe his setup, couldn't believe his amounts of beers, and I think Triggerfish is a gateway beer house. It's quite common to see that.
And what a cool spot for a brewery. I mean, I just love going out there because it's kind of the most bizarre place to have a brewery. And
you don't know what the government did there in the 50s and 60s or whatever.
It is a bit shady. Yeah, it is a bit weird driving into those cordon off area. Okay, so let's. I've got some other things I want to ask you, but guys, I've run out of beer. What's
we've got a lot more.
Let's. You guys have a few beers? How many? You got 2 beers in your stable?
Yes, at the moment.
Beers,
The moment for the festivals, we obviously, we do something special.
Yeah.
We probably talk about a little bit later. We're looking at expanding more next year, but a modest scale.
Sure.
More variety, fresh beers, we'll get to that. But let's get you onto our firstborn.
But let's say, but a little bit more the journey while we open it up.
So what's this one?
Yeah, so I just want to finish the story. So we started in the kitchen, then we moved to your bar, right? Then we moved to Eben's bar.
It's called the Braaikamer.
The Braaikamer.
Braai room.
Braai room. A barbecue room. Yes.
That was stage 2. It was a bit bigger, and then we moved into my garage. And then the fourth big step was one morning we woke up and we said, let's just do a big batch of beer. Let's take our money. He actually took some of his retirement money. I took some of the children's college fund, and we just said, let's do a proper batch of beer. And that is where we brewed Mr. Hoppy Face first. And
on a commercial scale.
On a commercial scale. And the interesting thing about the way we brew our beers, I mean, we're very impulsive in the way we approach beer making. We don't like to brew the same beer twice. So we've never developed a recipe for this. I mean, the first time we brewed both of these beers was in a 1,000-liter system.
Sure, wow.
So we absolutely had no idea. I mean, we've brewed very few lagers before because in the homebrew setup it's very, very difficult to brew a lager if you've got some of the old and primitive setups. So we haven't brewed many lagers before, but we decided.
Very brave of you to start. So.
Yeah, but we just thought. I mean, we think more about the brewing than we actually master the recipes. So we decided, South Africa is a lager drinking country.
Open that shit.
Gotta make
open it right next to that mic.
A lager. And this is the lager that we've made, and we've had an idea of what we want to make. We wanted to make a very bitter German style lager because we thought the South Africans would like it, but we said let's do something different. So on our way to the brewery, we actually redesigned the recipe. So the night before it was different from when we actually walked to the brewery. And on our way there, I mean, remember on the way there, actually on the old Paul route, we called each other and said we're going to change the recipe. We're just going to make it a little bit
It's nothing
more bitter.
like innovation, last minute changing.
I think we ramped up the hop schedule. But we just, believe life's too short not to take your retirement money and just throw in a commercial.
Throw it all in there. So this is...
this is our firstborn, Mr. Hoppy Face.
Mr. Hoppy Face. And I remember this being your first one.
Yes. You've had it on the show before. Sorry.
Yes.
I listened to that. We had Chris and Sale and the other
Yes, that was a year ago.
Yeah.
So we need to get those guys back on the show.
I feverishly listened to it the other night.
So this is a returning customer on the show. Welcome back, Mr. Hoppy Face. I can't recall what I said, but I'm going to imagine saying something along the lines of very interesting approach, pushing a hoppy lager into the markets. Was that also something you were planning on?
Yeah, we wanted to do something very different, and we said
German
there's a lot
style,
of
you said German style, but just
but we went for a German style. Then we said, listen, there's too many German lagers. Let's do something different. Let's do American style lager. Let's make it strong enough. Let's make it like a strong lager. Let's make it like an imperial, Indian pale lager. So let's make it an IPL. So let's aim for 6.5%. This one was actually the first one. This one is 6.5%. The first one was actually close to 7%. Because we measured it for our first time on a 1,000-liter system. So the aim was to get it over 6.5, so at least it could fall in the IPA/IPL category. Yeah, and very hoppy. I mean, it's 45 on the bottle, but the first one was a little bit more into the regions of 55, 60. IBUs simply because we didn't know how flame might work in a big system, so it added about 15 IBUs to the beer that we thought we were going to get, so it's a lot better than...
I'm getting the impression that you guys really did... You gambled a lot with recipes, with what you were doing, and it seems like it's paying off for you guys. I mean, what can you account that to? I mean, I don't know, what backgrounds do you have, or what's... It can't just be dumb luck. I'm sure there are some listeners right now going, no, what's going on here? This can't be... They couldn't have landed with their bum in the butter like this.
Thibaut, let me put it to you this way. My good old partner, my mate here, he's come from out of nowhere, and he's just grown into this amazing recipe developing brewer. I was like, I was the first guy. I mean, I started in it's 9 years ago, and he came along and he sit through nights and nights, and God bless Beersmith.
Yes,
just for us, it's just exciting to see what this going to look like, the color, you know. And he's really got a talent for it, and also in selling and convincing me, let's go for this. Let's add another 5 or 6 kgs of freaking hops. I think it's something a lot to do with a lot of beer drinking.
Yes.
Being very fortunate that we worked and traveled some parts of the world where there were quite interesting beers, and I think really diving in deep in the local scene, and really, my wife is going to say, yeah, you want to drink all the beers, but we want to taste it. I always try and explain to people, it's like a wine connoisseur. Whenever we taste a beer, it's like little lights going on, LEDs in our heads. You think about, you do the same. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of the listeners probably do as well. Little LED goes, oh, must have used these malts. Wow, is this what Galaxy is like, for instance? I mean, we used 2 American hops in this. We wanted to cut through, make it a little bit less tame. We took out the noble hops in this lager. Just moving a little bit away from the beer style. And I know you guys have mentioned, for instance, just to bring out a little bit of how we play this game, we just decided, obviously, to ramp it up. I think it was a dare from Carl from Beer Country who said, you can't go to the market just with a lager. I mean, sorry, I don't want to say this, but we won the Southeastern Summer Festival. You were there.
I was going to bring it up. And
Carl went, sorry for jumping the gun.
No, I'm glad this is good. We like transitions.
You love saying segue.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said it as well.
Carl said to me, Evan, you won that festival with a massive double IPA. You can't just come to the market with a lager. And we were like, game on. We were already brainstorming about this. But the finishing touches actually happened 4:30 that morning on the way to the brewery. So I think, I don't want to overwork and overuse the word passion, but it's a lot of interest. It's a palate that develops over time for all of us. But this skills, Paul's skills is amazing, man. So we get together, we say, listen, what are we going to brew? And he's always got something up his sleeve. I think that attributes to a lot of our fun. I won't call it success, but
that's fun.
I think we grab the lesser, weirder oaks. We want something out of the ordinary, until it's like the last 2 hours of the festival. CTF have been, everybody's at our stand because our beers are quite heavy.
Okay, well, I'm going to come back to a few of those things that you mentioned, but
one more point on that. Just one point. I think there's so much information available to brewers these days. I mean, we're both very avid researchers. I mean, I come from a research background. I mean, he reads every night until very early in the mornings. So I think we can read recipes and we can almost taste the recipes on the internet before we actually brew them. I think there's so much information. I mean, there was so much research going into this beer, even though we haven't brewed it before. I mean, there was so much research we've done to understand what taste profile we get to do certain things in beer that once we actually brew a beer, I think we're pretty confident in our minds that we understand potentially how it could turn out if we follow, all of the information that we've gathered for a certain recipe or for a certain style of beer.
So your skill sets that I've noticed, 3 things. You need to be innovative. You need to be hungry to consistently take in stuff, wanting to take in information. And thirdly, you need to develop your taste palette. And I think that's what... I think if any brewers that are listening in South Africa, in the world, yes, we do have an international audience at Hashtag Beer Time.
Of course, well done.
Those are three really important things, which I think is vital when owning a brewery. And unfortunately, there are a handful of examples that I can think of where, unfortunately, brewers just aren't utilizing those three skill sets, which is a pity. But if people are listening, then hopefully they take a feather out of your cap, a page out of your book, a leaf out of your tree. Anyway,
but it's true because it is one of the...
A lupulin out of your cone.
There we go. If I could just coin my 2 cents there. I personally think that, obviously you know this, it is very hard work. But it's so much fun for us. I think for the two of us, I'm going to bring in Paul from the Kennel Brewery here quickly. We, a lot of the times, try to spend some time with him. He's a soldier, man. He's a demon. On his own, he's just carrying on. We've got each other to bounce stuff off from. So he is, like, for instance, I don't want to kiss his rear end, but he's doing an amazing job all by himself.
Yeah.
And he loves to network, and he does it really well. We've got that camaraderie. We've got the fact that brotherhood, we've got each other, and it's pretty cool. If I'm down one day, he picks me up, and we just carry on. Helps a lot, but we do, both of us realize that it is extremely hard work. It's so rewarding, so we don't mind the work.
It's weird. There are a few examples, and I'm sure people are thinking about, breweries in South Africa, around the world, where there are stories of individuals starting a brewery or couples, 2 people, even husband and wife, couples starting a business. But there are pros and cons for both. But it's awesome. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Starting a business with a friend can either go very wrong or it can go very right. In your case, I'm stoked and happy to see that. You mentioned a few things which I do need to try and remember. It's very difficult for me to try and remember as I drink, but I am going to go back now. Let's talk about, you mentioned Paul. Let's talk about Paul, and I'm going to sip the last bit of this puppy face. Ooh.
It's not for the faint-hearted. That's why I dubbed it one very late night or early morning, South Africa's most controversial lager. We've
controversial.
Most controversial.
Why?
So tell me, we've just cracked open this. It's a beautiful can. It's a blue can. I'm absolutely in love with the label. But this is from our good friend Paul at the Kennel. Why are we drinking this?
So we actually met Paul in Beer House. Yeah, we met him right here.
Right
at
here
the
in
National
Beer House.
Beer Trophy competition.
Quick shout out to Beer House.
2017. Quick shout out to Beer House.
Beer House,
Beer House.
Yeah. We had an agreement with management. If we said Beer House twice, then we get a free pint.
So we actually met Paul here on the balcony at Beer House, and we were chatting, and he said, guys, one day I just want to do a festival. I want to do a beer festival, get some rock bands. He's very into his rock music as well. Want to get some rock bands. Want to have a music festival.
Yes.
And we told him, but hey, we were thinking about the same thing. Why don't we just do it? And then a few months later, we actually had the Karoo Festival together with a guy from KCB, Karoo Brewery. And that's where we became really good friends. And now we've done a collab with him for the Cape Town Festival of Beer.
Nice.
That's how we met the guy. And I mean, like Evan said, he's one of the most hardworking.
He's a soldier.
Guys in the industry. Yeah, he's a soldier. But I think hardworking is really the key in the brewing industry. I mean, everybody's got the passion. You can't say this guy's got more passion than the other parts. The other guys. I mean, the guy works the hardest.
Yeah.
He's probably the guy who's going to get the farthest, and he's the guy who's grown organically. I mean, he started with a small system. He's ramped up a little bit. But
he's experimenting as well. I like that about him.
All the time. Yeah, all the time.
He's just like, to hell with this, I'm going to brew a milkshake. Was it a milkshake IPA?
Yeah,
what is it?
The Belgian milkshake. He's beer bull.
Yes. He just gooid. He just went for it.
Yeah.
He didn't need permission. He just went for it. So I think that's also maybe a positive on being your own boss. You don't need someone to say like, no, maybe not. You're just going to go for it.
He's such a creative. He's very, he's prolific and he's bold.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what you're drinking now. So we've got his. Are you gonna explain?
Well, let me have a sniff.
Yes, let's do that.
What do you get on your nose?
It's very floral.
Huh?
It almost smells. I don't want to say this in a negative light. I'm saying it very much in a positive light. It almost smells like potpourri when you walk into a bathroom and they've got those dried flowers in the basin. And I say that in a very positive light.
The stuff that the kids in Joburg's been smoking, eh?
No, not that stuff. No,
not that hardcore stuff.
No.
Okay, just for the record.
Yeah. Quick shout out to the Joburg bros.
Well, I also get the same. I agree with you. I also get that.
I'm going to go for sniff and a sip. It's very light. It's almost, you expect it to be quite thick and gooey, but it doesn't actually transfer over that into the flavor, into the taste. It's almost very sessionable. Very sessionable. Yeah.
I think that's a recurring
4%?
theme. Recurring theme for the Kennel Breweries beers. Paul wants you to be sessionable. He wants you to. He also, it's not IBUs like us. I think we were so proud when we brewed our first beer and our mates choked on it and had to eat cream crackers to get it down. We said, yes, we like this.
Yeah.
But no, I totally agree with you. He's a very inventive and a very creative guy.
Yeah.
I've asked him, where do you come with these ideas? He's just, I think he's like one
It's
in a
so
million.
lekker to be.
Good guy.
It's so, to quote a brewer from Joburg. I'll leave names out of it, but he quoted it. Well, he just said it's just so lekker to be in this industry where you just meet other lekker guys and oaks, and just everyone they're all so friendly. And I think Paul's the epitome of that kind of identity. Like you meet him, he's like, hey, how's it? Yeah, cool. Yeah. I think mad love to Paul. I hope he goes from strength to strength. But let's
so just about the collab. So
talk
we're thinking
I
about.
wanted to shift. Let's segue to the collab,
Cool.
which will segue naturally to the festival beer.
Yes, of course.
So we were thinking, what do we brew for a collab? We've never done one before. We've done one together with Karoo Craft Breweries, but we haven't done one with Paul. And we were thinking, what are we going to do? And of course, being the more extreme brewers that we are, we were more favourable to a double IPA, triple IPA. And he just said, but why don't we just throw a wine pizza IPA? And we said, what is a wine pizza IPA? How would you make such a thing? And
did you see
came
it?
up with the recipe.
Hawaiian as in pineapple and ham. I'm not a pizza expert. Maybe considered sometimes a beer expert.
Not yet. After visiting our standard CDMB, we will be one.
Okay.
Even our designer were a bit surprised when we actually designed the label tag for our stand to put on a wine IPA. She said, but what is the pizza part? She doesn't understand the pizza part. How's a pizza fit into a beer? We said, no, it's going to be in the beer. The flavor of wine pizza will be in the beer.
I think just to add a little bit, the Eldorado hops. So there is that appeal, that fruitiness of the pineapple. The smoked malts we used. It's going to give us that smokiness, hamminess. What is the other part?
Needs to be a Brady doughy kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of Munich and Vienna in there.
And then obviously we've decided that we are going to pair a bit of it with a bit of pineapple on the day and a bit of Tabasco.
So there might be a little one of those cocktail straws with a pineapple, a little tomato,
a little toothpick
cheese.
maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheese.
We have contemplated actually putting oregano, Tabasco, and the pineapple into the beer itself, but that was a big
let me give you some advice. Maybe experiment before the festival, and then bring your trialed experiments.
No, we've been telling you. I mean, that's what we do. We do it on the day or the morning before.
The morning. I'm trying to think. I've definitely seen and read about a pizza beer. I'm trying to think in South Africa if anyone's done something along those lines. I don't think so. Definitely not at the festival beer.
We didn't think so either. We had to sleep on it at least one night.
Yeah.
But no, I think it looks beautiful. We're actually cold crashing it as we're speaking now.
Lekker.
And we're going to try up the heck out of it. And to make sure you guys get those nice, fruity pineapple and all of that. Eldorado hop we've never used it, so we're really excited.
I've also never used it.
But it smells amazing. Before the boil, it smells amazing.
Oh, you making me excited. So if people want to try this, they can only try it at the Cape Town Festival Beer, which is last weekend of November.
Yeah, the 30th, the Friday, the 1st and the 2nd of December.
Yeah, 3 days.
Yeah.
I've chosen...
All 3 days.
No. See, I've been very tactical. I can't do all 3 days. I have to do 2. Two's the max.
I'm gonna take a stab at this. He's gonna go for Friday and Sunday. Or are you?
No,
Are you gonna man up and do the Saturday with all the varsity students?
You know what? I'm gonna give Saturday a miss. It's pretty much a tradition, just because it's so busy, and I enjoy going and chatting to the Oaks on Sunday or Friday and just be like, how's it? Like on Saturday, you're gonna be like 4 people deep. You're not gonna want to see
it's crazy,
T-Bone Troy and hey, how's it going? You're just gonna like, get the hell out of here. We're serving beers.
We'll put you behind the stand so we can have a break. That's what we did last year.
That's usually how I get free beers. Shout out to all the brewers at the Cape Town Festival Beer. They usually say, "Cool, Troy, just sub in for about a few minutes."
All the wine IPA you can drink.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. Also, you guys, you won Best Stand last year. Is that correct?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about this one?
It was something totally unexpected. There was like a construction site there. I don't know.
Yeah, it was. Go. I had to speak to Dan Nickel. So you go now. You speak to T-Bone. It's
no,
more
but
daunting.
you've done it before, so you can just do it again.
Just in a nutshell, I'm a civil engineering contractor, so I do work in construction. So we decided to kind of convey the message that our brand is under construction.
Nice.
Set up this massive bit of scaffolding. Actually, I have to be very proud. Sleek branding, and we had a very nice stand, a very very neat, and we built a solid oak slats. Built a nice tap stand. You know, we just wanted to make it. He's a neat freak. Okay, this is Paul, not Eben.
Yeah,
he's a neat guy, which obviously helps in the brewery. We just wanted to really go big and make it colourful, and like I said,
there were a lot of colours. I do remember a lot of colours.
Yeah, our colours red and yellow. Some people thought it was a McDonald's stand, but we poured in some
shout
beer
out to Barry O'Donoghue from Atlantic. Thanks, Buzzer. He ripped us, and we kind of tongue in cheekly, if I could put it that way. Fortunately, realised afterwards it was apparently a very close vote for the best stand. We realised these colours are Hamilton's colours, and the
rugby club.
Die-hard Hamilton's man is did that, tipped up the scales in our favour. No, I think we went out as we do. I think we're going to this persona. We want to have a lot of fun. We love sharing. I said it last year. We love sharing our beer, giving it away, and that's a perfect platform for it.
Yeah.
We wanted to make a statement because we didn't know if we we're going to return. We're blessed to be there, but this year we're going to go. Even
bigger.
We are going to go.
Well, I think people need to go visit either the Friday, Saturday, or Sunday if you want to see what they're talking about. I'm pretty sure we're going to give some tickets away, but we can't do it now because it's not live. But this is my promise to you. We are giving tickets away, so be sure to check in on social media, because we're going to have a few tickets leading up to the event. So that's exciting.
Yeah, very.
And who doesn't want free tickets to a beer festival?
I
mean, I know.
And free beer?
I know. I'm one of those. I'm not even into it. I'm not too sure I can do that. Let's crack open one last beer. We mentioned it a few times, but it's also some friends of yours. What beer is this?
This, I'm just going to say one thing. I think I touched the mic. I'm sorry, guys. This is our good mate, Yanni.
Mike doesn't like it when you touch him. Eh?
Sorry, Mike. This isn't Mike from the Real Beer Revolution, because he's also... No, he's okay. He likes hugs.
No, he does like hugs. After a few beers, though.
He's weird like that. He likes hugs. Yeah. So do we. We love high fives. We're not allowed to do any high fives now because of Mike.
Yeah. So what's this one?
This is the Jackal IPA from Karoo Craft Breweries, KCB. Just quickly, just a little footnote. We decided on KCB in 2016 because of the quality. They've got a great setup. I mean, Fraser was out there.
Yes.
Beer Country Oaks were out there. Great quality. Yanni comes from he's a winemaker by trade. He was, and he decided, why? Once again, life's too short to make wine. Let's make some beer.
Exactly.
So this is the latest freshest batch of the Jackal. We in ons is Afrikaners, ons noem hom die jakkals.
The jackals.
Hy bekruip jou.
Yeah. And you see, there's one very important rule at KCB, and that is when you're in the brewery,
Wow, that looks
when
beautiful.
you brew beer, you can drink as many of the jackals as you want.
Yes.
So this is by far our favorite beer. These guys have created. We think it's one of the best IPAs South Africa has ever seen.
So the one
I'm
thing,
getting beautiful hop notes.
Yeah, they use now.
Also, like not a heavy dankness. I'd say like a medium dankness of pine. Ooh, maybe a little bit of Simcoe or Cascade. I'm not going to guess, but
I'm gonna let Paul cat out of the bag here. These guys are also very innovative. They have tweaked it a little bit, which is good. They've tweaked it a bit.
This is really
and
good.
This time they played around with.
Yeah.
Galaxy.
Galaxy. So Galaxy's latest
see if you can get that.
dry up edition. Yeah, it's a very kind of fruity hop from
Yeah, it's a
Australia.
precision oak, as some Afrikaners are, but I think this
that's
is
what
nice
you
and
want.
fresh. I think the carbonation is excellent.
So you guys, are you guys also based? Is this where you guys are based? When people want to visit,
Put it here this way: at this point in time, obviously, when we go bigger scale, if you're not experimenting with any other beers,
next level.
we are at Janni's.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Where is this? It's I know it's close to CBC.
at the Simons Vlei wine estate in just outside of Paarl.
Okay.
So they've got a portion of the cellars they've made up was just like 2 years ago, and obviously for them they're both local boykies. It's nice for them. It's close to home.
Yes.
But yeah, we basically go out there when we go do a 1,000-liter batch for the market. But I think we also need to mention something about that.
Yeah, but just and then of course they've got a new tap room now, so they've opened
Excellent
a tap
tap
room,
room, excellent.
at Simons Vlei, very cool, and also have a market on the Saturdays.
A lot.
Okay,
a
so
lot
there's
has
a
been
new
done
tap room
At Simons Vlei
and a
new
market
tap
every
room.
Saturday.
every Saturday.
Saturday,
Yeah. So they've done a lot to to get people involved, because I think they've just realised that everybody doesn't just want to go. Wolfgang, we love you, but there's some other spots around as well.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
And
There
they've
are
got
plenty of
beautiful
spots, yeah.
fresh beers. I mean, Nick's around the corner. Man,
Wolfgang will be one of the
blessed.
first people to say, the more the better, the more the merrier.
And Wolfgang, by the way,
They
loves
helped
their
them a lot,
beers as well.
Yeah,
And
helped
and
them a lot with the recipe developing in the beginning. I mean, he did
So wait,
critique the beers.
how many brands are at this location? You've got Karoo, Birka, you've got Beerman. Just the two of you, three?
Well,
At the moment?
they used to do. They actually stopped because the demand's picking up so well for
wow.
them, and
Yeah,
so much.
especially
They've
up
stopped-
north, so they distribute a lot of beers
Yeah.
up in Gauteng. And
They-
the areas, I mean, because they've got this Western label, so they've got the Jackal and they've got all of these indigenous
The
animals
Impala,
on the
APA,
labels. They're very popular
the
up
Oracle
north
Vines.
in the game farms and the Kruger National Park.
This appeals to a broader market than
No, it's very clever marketing. Just to in case no one heard what you said, all the logos are almost look like paper cuts, die cuts, or I don't know what the term is, of these wild animals, African animals. So yeah, it's amazing that It's amazing that
Very modernly done,
the
yeah.
game farms are like starting to get an interest. Very very cool approach.
They've done. Yeah, they've got great interest from over there. I'm just going to quickly just mention. I don't really know. They don't really do a lot of contract brewing anymore.
Okay.
But maybe sometime get them on the show and ask them about it. They are.
Yes, worth it.
They are. They
Very
look really
knowledgeable.
blessed to have a
we
lot of
don't
demand now.
we don't get anyone on the show. We only get very important guys on the show.
Sorry, boys.
Yes, high five with that.
Okay, we do a high five.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just maybe I can
But very
take this.
technical guys. I think maybe there's a difference between us and them in terms of the approach to brewing. I mean, we're more of the impulsive.
Yes.
We're more of the research type of kind. But I think those guys are very technical. They trained in the arts.
Well,
of
yes,
brewing.
it
There's
helps.
a winemaker. The other guy's a microbiologist, so he's a fermentation specialist. We call him the yeast master because he knows more about yeast than anybody else.
Anyone else?
So they're very technical in their approach to brewing. So for them, it's very much an art. For us, it's more of a fun project.
And it's their only job, so they have to make it work. I just want to mention to all the listeners out there that I waited for this first high five to break the ice. So we're going to Biermanize old T-Bone Troy, yeah?
No.
I don't know, do you still have a bumper in your car?
You know what?
You can put it in your mirror. That
You know
is
what I
good to
do
see.
have at the moment? The guys, they handed me little goodies. We've got some stickers here. We've got
don't know if it can-
a
here's
wooden
this.
badge. Ooh, a little bit of dog tags. So if I wear this to, I can just put it over my neck.
Yeah.
If you just, if I,
The dark tax has got a very interesting history as well.
if I wear
because
this to the festival, do I get free beer all day?
for the rest of your life, probably.
Wow!
No,
Rest
we
of your
said
life.
when we actually launched
Guys,
the
you
Rocky
better
Fest,
be careful. When it comes to you in like 10 years' time, 20 years' time, I'm going to keep knocking on your doors, dude. And you're like, we shouldn't have done that bloody show with T-Bone Troy.
We know
Now,
you.
He's still here. In fact, I'm going to be there, the drunk, every day, just rocking up.
We've known you for so long. You've gone soft, buddy. You don't want to come to CTA if you'll be on the Saturday. So you've gone soft. We feel safe giving you that.
How about this? I promise when I see you either on the Friday or Sunday, I'll drink as much beer as I would have drunk on the
Here we
Saturday.
Okay.
That's
Or-
that's a
we're
promise.
gonna
Or
keep
as-
it to
as
it.
much as us.
We're going to keep it to it.
Yeah, I'll definitely catch up with you guys.
So
But
I-
that is really, I mean, that dark tag is very central to the whole mission of Bierman. When we first launched the beer, we said everybody who buys a case will get dark tags with it, and that dark tags is basically
A brotherhood.
a brotherhood.
What-
Yeah, we're at
what's-
the brotherhood of Bierman.
Just for our overseas listeners, what is Bierman Brewers?
Okay,
Bro,
so
pronounce it properly for them
Yeah,
first.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not exotic.
voor ons luisteraars uit Nederland is buurman as in your neighbor. Obviously, as we say in our bios, we're brewers from the suburbs, and we still believe in that brotherhood and that, it's not like London. We don't have to greet your neighbor. You don't have to greet us, but we like that fact that it's a community, and we kind of like. It's the same as the craft beer thing for us. And I know there's a couple of swear words, community, passion, all of those, but we believe in that. But if I may quickly, before he goes, I just need to tell you how we got to the name.
Yes.
So this is our
I want to know. This is what we hear.
So Bierman as in your neighbor, right? You
Yes.
got it. Okay. It's the guy you can always count on. The guy will always have good beer. The guy's going to make sure you're always okay. All right? Watch it, you're not going to get crappy beer. So this very first brew day that we get to, I call it the Penthouse. It's our beautiful apartment on High Level Road that they've invested in years ago. Clever move. I rock up. We got the water, everything ready. Okay, let's go. His phone rings. He picks up the phone. I actually hand it to him. I say, "It's your dad." He picks up the phone. He answers it. He goes, "Bierman Brouwerke, goeiemôre." Now I can hear the back. Nee pa, dis nou ons naam. Dis nou ons brouwery.
Okay.
And as with the recipes, as with the spur of the moment, obviously we invested some time and research, a lot of it. He just came up with it, and he said, and he hung up the phone. I was like, Paul, what was that? He said, that's going to be our name. I said, what? He says, yeah, man, Brouwerke. It's got a European twang to it.
It does have a nice
Brouwerke,
Belgian twang. Yeah.
I was just okay. Well, I just latched on, and I gave him that. So
Yes.
I think that's basically where he started. A lot of it to us is we're just normal guys, man. Want to give you a good time and good beer.
neighborly friends. And I think
got it on the point where
you
you
mentioned it, community.
Yeah.
I think that's so important in craft beer in South Africa.
But that's a very important point because that's where the success of the industry lies. I mean, I think more brewers are realizing the fact that the only way that you can actually make this sustainable is if you connect directly
Yes.
to the guys in your neighborhood. To be a community brewer, I mean, I think the guys that are doing very well at the moment, for example, I think Stellum was brewing. They've got a very cool spot, direct to the consumer, and I think everybody's realizing that this is where the action is at, and this is where you can actually make your brewery sustainable. The distribution is, I mean, everybody knows it's killing the small guys. So everybody's now trying to have this tap room. Offset area where they can sell directly to the guys, and I mean Paul is doing it. He's in Wellington at the moment.
Just before the old, you can with the tunnel, the pass. So.
Yeah, I need to go visit that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
really
that's
beautiful.
but there's definitely a shift in the thinking. It's more of the, I don't want to say American approach, but I think that's what they're really good at, is creating that community around a brewery, and I think that's rewarding for the brewers because they can brew something very specific for the community, and the community gets something very special. We also see that, I think, emerging in London as well. I mean, there's very many small breweries just jumping up in these neighbourhoods, and who's got again, many open nights, many special brewing nights, many special brews only for the guys in the area. So I think that's definitely a trend that's taken hold of. I think that's almost a survival strategy for many of these smaller guys to connect to the community.
I can tell you right now, after our whole conversation and all these beers, I can say that I really appreciate what you've just said now, because in a way it's kind of sobered me up in a good way. Don't worry, I'll have a few more beers after this. But that was genuine and honest, because I think we're living in a very, I suppose, interesting time. We're living in a very, positive, but also a very difficult time for South African craft brewers, because as much as we're growing as a community, or as an industry, should I say, there are some guys who are struggling. And it's great to see where we come back to that skill set of innovation, where you are learning to adapt and survive and find things that you can do that the big guy can't do. And I think, I don't know, I mean, I'm sure we've mentioned it before on the show, but I think community really is an integral part of, I suppose, a lot of businesses, but, craft beer.
Absolutely.
And you share in the positives, the joys, and you share in the negatives, the lows, and the difficulties. If you've got a community of brewers, whether it's South Africa, Western Cape, Cape Town, Paarl, no matter where you are, if you've got that brotherhood, neighborhood, then it's you help each other and you spur each other on.
You've got to tap into that, exactly. That's what you've got to tap into, because I think if you find that and you find that community, we've got an approach, and we say, if you have 1,000 true fans, you've got 1,000 true supporters.
You're quoting Kevin Kelly. You're not quoting Kevin Kelly, hey?
Yeah, of course I am.
Do you want us to throw you with the 10,000 hours as well?
Yes.
We do believe in that as well. We also love guys like Tim Ferriss, and I actually really love to experiment and do a lot of things. I think just two things I want to quickly mention before you shut us down is that the fact that I think we kind of, before we took this, a few things pushed us over the edge to go, let's call it commercial.
Yeah.
Was that we believed in ourselves.
Yes.
I think we believe that we have surpassed the 10,000 hours, the 10,000 hour rule. I think it makes a lot of sense. And the other thing for us, I think our dream started not trying to be the next AB InBev, but maybe one day having our own little brew pub, little tap room. And that's where it comes back to. We love sharing, we love giving, and obviously, if you give enough people what they want, Zig Ziglar, they'll give you'll get what you want.
Yeah.
And it's not for us, it's just great to still be a part of this. We want to stay relevant, and you were the first guy who walked out here the beer trophy night when I said, no, we didn't enter. You said a word, and you said, "Oh, Beerman, you must be inside." And you scrummed me in here.
Yeah.
And then Murray Metalane grabbed me, and then Lucy was like, I just slashed. Come on, I'm pushing you inside as well. And it's so great.
Yeah.
Everybody's just high fives and hugging, and it's not about feeling popular. It's just, I was going to say, feeling the love. It's crazy. It's just, we're going to have this whirlwind weekend next weekend. But
there's going to be a lot of love.
That's what for us. My hair's standing on end.
Yeah.
In the end,
you must know.
In the end, it's just,
You must know I'm going to be loving you. I'm going to be loving everyone else. There's going to be a lot of love.
Are you going to love us long time?
Exactly.
Sorry about that.
No, that's good. So let's wrap up. My last question to you guys is, what's next?
Cacto Festival beer is next.
Whether in an ideal situation, or like what's going to happen next year? Like what do you want?
Can I shoot half of it? T-Bone, we're gonna be doing slightly smaller, more varied, and nice. Gonna be getting nice fresh batches out there.
Cool.
A little bit more regularly.
Okay.
I was told not to say this, but as part-timers, it's pretty tough to distribute 1,000 liters at a time while you still got a family and kids and stuff. So we're gonna make it slightly smaller, more regular, fresh, more varied. A couple of interesting things. A couple of maybe more a couple of, let's call it lighter, if I may, not to offend anybody. You got to look at where with the people, what they want, summer and stuff.
Sure.
And that's more or less the starting point. For the rest of it, I'm going to let my partner just add to that.
Listen.
I think in the beginning we never thought it was going to be easy, but we never thought it was going to be this hard. I think we've learned some very valuable lessons along the way on how we can approach breaking the market. I mean, we had so many discussions and late nights about how we're going to do it. And we thought the best way we're going to do it is with the beers that we've drank tonight. But sometimes it's not that simple. I mean, sometimes you think you understand a market and you understand how to break into it, and then once you're actually in that market, it's completely different. Yeah. So I think we've learned a lot of lessons. So I think what we're going to do next year, we're going to adapt what we learn, and we're going to see how we can make it slightly different. I think, like you said, the number one point is you've got to be creative and you've got to be innovative. You've got to do it differently, but you also shouldn't be outside of that sphere of being too extreme.
Yes.
Like we were trying to be. I think we were trying to be a bit too extreme, and we liked what we are and what we do, but sometimes too extreme doesn't work in a market like South Africa. So I think we're just going to reevaluate what the market is, where we are, and I think we're just going to keep having fun with what we're doing.
That's why we're doing it.
Oh yeah, high five on that. Yeah.
Come on. I think that is an absolute perfect place to leave it. Mr. Eben, Mr. Paul, can I just say, I've interviewed a lot of guys. I've been doing this for maybe coming up to 2 years now. I've been doing podcasting for a year, and I can tell you guys that I really enjoyed chatting to you guys, because I think there's something so genuine about this, and you guys are, at the end of the day, you're just two guys, you're mates, you love making beer, you love drinking beer, and you love giving beer away or selling beer, watching other people enjoy that process. And so I'm just, guys, I wish you the best of luck. I'm gonna be cheering. I'm gonna be the drunk guy at the festival beer on the Friday and Sunday. I'm gonna be cheering, even though it's closed. You guys have gone home. I'm still gonna be cheering in the years to come. I'm gonna be rocking up with my dog tags, and I'm gonna be demanding free beer, because somehow I remembered that you guys promised free beer.
Damn sure.
Oh yeah,
guys.
Oh, yeah.
Again, well done. Please keep pushing, keep going, keep innovating, keep staying hungry, and keep developing that palate.
Thanks, Steve. We love your show, man. It's such a privilege to be here. Thanks a lot. Thank you for what you're doing for the community as well. I really love it.
Thank you to all the listeners. Ciao, ciao.
Cheers, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to the show. One last thing before you take off. I've created a Patreon account. What is Patreon? Patreon is a website dedicated to artists creating content, and it gives them a platform to be able to get paid for their content. So no pressure to you guys, to my friends and my fans, but this kind of thing does help me to continue to grow and to continue to give you good content, and to actually take this brand and what I'm doing to the next level. And I've got so many plans that I'm so excited to bring to you. So if you have a few minutes and if you have an extra buck to spare, I'd really appreciate you just going checking it out. But you can go check it out at Patreon and just type in #BeerTime and you'll see something there. I really appreciate it. Thank you.